I mean, wow. Wow.
Angel Reese is definitely finding her own, and I think
knowing the way they treat her, they would probably fine her and suspend her.
The behavior that Angel Reese has been displaying is embarrassing.
After scoring an incredible 22 points and pulling down 15 rebounds in a devastating 2-point loss to the Mystics, Angel Reese was just suspended on July 7th. On live national television, she smashed a clipboard out of her coach's hands while completely insane. Now that the Chicago Sky has drawn the line, the WNBA as a whole is stunned.
Hey, it's another day of the Angel Reese drama because she has simply smacked the clipboard out of an assistant coach's hands. Yes.
Is walking over to the bench and she slaps the clipboard out of her coach's hand.
Angel Reese made news on July 7th as a result of slapping a clipboard clean out of her assistant coach's hands during a furious timeout on national television, in addition to her impressive stat line of 22 points and 15 rebounds against the Washington Mystics. Yes, exactly. After yet another difficult defeat, her frustration erupted, and the Chicago Sky has now suspended her permanently. Is her shenanigans now over for the league? Or is this simply one more phase in the tumultuous ascent of the most divisive figure in women's basketball?
Are you kidding me? That is one of the most disrespectful acts I've ever witnessed by a professional athlete towards their coach. One of their coaches.
Angel Reese does this right when you think the turmoil surrounding her couldn't be any hotter. On the sidelines of a nationally broadcast game between the Chicago Sky and the Washington Mystics, Reese lost it. And no, we're not referring about an angry exchange of words or an angry stare. We are referring to the fact that she physically slammed the clipboard from her assistant coach's grasp. Yes. Like she had finished watching live TV in front of millions of people, she slapped it clear out of his hands.
But this is some Bush League lack of respect. This behavior can't happen.
After Clutch Sports released the video, it quickly went viral. You name it. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And they didn't hold back fans. It was insulting and embarrassing, and she should also be suspended.
Losing by 2 points at the end of the game.
The crazy part comes next. Emotions were running high since they were getting blasted out, but this wasn't some pointless game. No, this was a close game, a battle that was decided by the smallest of margins. Final result, 79-81. The victory was narrowly won by the Mystics. Chicago ought to have had that one, to be honest. However, it completely eluded them, just like the whole of their season.
Reese had a great game. She had 22 points, 15 rebounds. There were some questionable calls from the referees on both ends of the floor during this game.
On the court, Angel Reese made her appearance. For assists, 15 rebounds, and 22 points. As if it were just another Tuesday, there was another commanding double-double. That is no longer even news. That she simply acts in such manner. However, for whatever reason, nobody was discussing the figures, making headlines about her performance, or celebrating yet another memorable evening. The clipboard slap became the center of attention. And you can tell everything from that.
She can't get out of her own way. And I don't give a rat's how frustrated she is.
She's carrying this team on her back, which is insane when you look at the figures. However, when the team is sitting at 513, it makes little difference. It's more than just a poor record. That season is falling. Additionally, the pressure increases with each defeat. You can sense the annoyance. Every timeout, every possession, and every sideline interaction contains it. In front of everyone, it finally came to a head. And at this point, it's the sole topic of conversation.
They're not doing well this season. I think that is evident. It doesn't look like they are going to make playoffs.
Furthermore, this is about more than just one clipboard, let's face it. This concerns a team that appears disoriented. This has to do with a locker room that is exploding. This concerns a leader who is obviously tired. Indeed, some admirers may claim that she simply exudes passion. Some would argue that this lacks leadership. This is an imminent danger.
The Chicago Sky should suspend her for this.
Now what? Does she receive a fine? Again suspended? In a season that is already engulfed in upheaval, is this just more noise? Nobody is aware yet. But this wasn't just a poor moment. That much is certain. It could have been the Chicago Sky's tipping moment.
Coach do not have control of this basketball team, hence why they could be losing these damn games.
Let's be straightforward. Chicago is becoming a really dirty place. Furthermore, we're not merely discussing lost streaks or missed layups. We are discussing emotional outbursts, leadership breakdowns, and a team that appears to be held together by hope and tape. Angel Reese is immediately in the middle of everything. She competes fiercely. Now, don't misunderstand. Angel is a skill that transcends generations. She has the ability. She knows the figures. Her highlight reels are with her. However, she doesn't appear to have control these days. Her body language is loud on the court. And I'm not merely clapping her hands or yelling for the ball. I'm referring to heated arguments, eye rolls, and coaches shrugging off. Then, of course, came the now famous clipboard smack, which completely blew everything up.
She's a competitor. Love or hate Angel Reese, she's a competitor. She's a fierce competitor.
Slapping the clipboard from her assistant coach's hands was more than just a frustrated outburst. It was a complete message. And the message was unambiguous. I'm done listening to you all. The anxiety was palpable via the screen. That was not an isolated incident. That was the culmination of something that had obviously been simmering in the background.
She's right. The WNBA refs blow.
Fans, on the other hand, are divided. She is being defended by one side, as though she is only passionate. She has had enough of losing. She has fire. The opposite side has completely given up making excuses. Leadership is not what this is. This is anarchy, they claim.
Now, God, I'm not one to blow up negativity, but Angel Reese is supposed to be leading young women and being a great example to girls and kids all over the world.
The problem is that everything you do conveys a message when you're Angel Reese, the team spokesperson, the one with the cameras in your face, and the young ladies wearing your jersey. Furthermore, she is not now conveying a message about leadership. It concerns annoyance, disobedience, and a group going awry.
So it's just a moment of frustration at the end of the game.
This leads us to Coach Tyler Marsh, the man with the whistle. Let's face it, leading a group of people with strong personalities is never simple. However, when that clipboard incident played out and there was no instant reaction, no timeout, no benching, and no obvious consequences, people started to wonder who was actually in command.
Tyler Marsh has no control over this basketball team. At this point, it looks like his leadership is questioned as a head coach with some of the tactics and things that go down with Angel Reese and this damn basketball team.
Because you do nothing at the time when your best player publicly disrespects an assistant coach like that on national television, no less. Indeed, it doesn't shout control. It appears that I don't want to annoy her. Furthermore, that isn't leadership. It's babysitting, then. Additionally, this is not the first time that Marsh's watch has gone awry. Throughout the season, the Sky have experienced numerous emotional outbursts, commotion on the sidelines, and chemistry problems. The issue is no longer limited to a single player. The issue is one of culture. And the coach will always get some heat when it occurs. Recently, Marsh's detractors have been vicious, accusing him of having a weak and ineffectual strategy and even claiming that his credibility is eroding. It's more than just shade. It's a complete eclipse.
Nobody care about the double-double no more, bro. We know Angel Reese can get double-doubles. This ain't, you know what I'm saying, at this point, it is what it is. This is what she does.
The unfortunate thing is that this season might have been a comeback. Rhea is averaging 12 points and 12 rebounds a game, which is all-star performance. Although she has already sent 5 messages this season, she also has a lot of passion in her game, something that many teams wish they possessed. The issue is that nobody is using that fire for something constructive. Rather, one game at a time, we're witnessing a slow-motion meltdown.
She stepped up. Also, her field goal percentage across the board has also made a...
This is the awkward query that fans are posing. Is Angel Reese now more important than the team? Has she gone beyond the point where teammates and coaches are afraid to check her? And how long before everything comes crashing down if that's the case? Even if a team has exceptional potential, It won't get very far if no one is prepared to hold the leader responsible or if the leader refuses to take responsibility for herself. With the assistant coach's hand, back the clipboard out. Angel Reese's appearance as a basketball player is just unflattering. She is expected to be a role model for young women worldwide, as I mentioned, Guy. In the end, being a leader is more than just scoring goals. It's about discipline, respect, and modeling for others how to behave under pressure. Additionally, Marsh and Ree are currently falling short, and that clipboard might be the first item to go if nothing changes quickly. Let's take a moment to rewind the video because even if you believe that the clipboard episode was crazy, it was in the beginning. The origins of this entire story may be traced back to June 2025, during one of the season's most talked about games. Round 1, Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever, also known as Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Not only did Angel and Caitlin exchange a lot of words,